But first, the number of people who've contracted the coronavirus continues to grow. More than 1,600 Americans now are infected. At least 40 have died. In other countries, the numbers we know are far higher. 1,000 have now perished in Italy. But the numbers here, we know, are going to continue to climb as more people do get tested. It's hard to meet an American whose life hasn't already been affected in such a short period of time by this virus. The response from the government, businesses, and Wall Street, it's rocked our world. Let's face it, there's no sugarcoating that. Schools in America are closing. My kids have been out of school already for a week. They're going to be out of school for the foreseeable future. K through 12 in Ohio and Maryland, first states to shut it down. Colleges like Georgetown, Dartmouth, Notre Dame, UCLA are all extending spring breaks or simply canceling class for the rest of the semester. 750,000 Amazon employees are told they can work from home if they can. Congress and the White House are also considering, in some cases, telework. And the Biden and Sanders campaigns, we learned this today, have closed some offices and told staff they can work from home. The outbreak has also ruined Americans' plans for vacation and other fun with family and friends. For the first time in 250 years, including during World War II, World War I, New York's beloved St. Patty's Day parade postponed. This morning, I went to the Giant to get dinner stuff for the kids, and not only were there no grocery carts, there wasn't even any ketchup. Believe it or not, that's what I needed. And people were filling their carts with cases of water, dog food, and frozen pizza. Wait a second, is there a shortage on pepperoni and dough? I mean, is there a run on flour and water? I have to miss that. Well, at least you're gonna have sports to watch while you're cooped up with all the kids. Wrong.
The remainder of the NBA and now NHL seasons have been suspended. The Major League Baseball has delayed opening day and canceled spring training.
And those stories continue to rack up. Then there are some bizarre stories you may have missed. In Aspen, Colorado, the ski town to the celebs, they have 10 coronavirus cases, the most concentrated cluster in the entire very large state of Colorado. And some Aussie tourists there who came into contact with this infected person are there, and they're just refusing to be tested. Can't force them to be tested, by the way. I guess it's time to pull their lift tickets, maybe? Families are feeling pressure to cancel baptisms, dance recitals. A friend of mine has had to postpone their son's wedding. I was going to it next week in New Orleans. That's postponed. It's going to continue, though. The drag on the economy, the markets, it's a nightmare. We all see it. The stock market dropped the most since the crash of '87.
The markets today plummeted. The Dow plunging almost 10% and suffering its worst loss since 1987. In total, the markets have lost almost $3 trillion on the day.
There's no question it was a bloodbath in the market, not just today, but in the last couple of weeks.
And while there have been some layoffs already, jobless claims have actually dropped in the first week of March, but of course that will likely change. So are the demands for more federal money, though, and government controls. Don't forget, this is election season. We're still in the middle of a presidential election. The Democrat debate, I guess on Sunday, is still going on between Sanders and Biden. And the Democrat machine just spent a lot of effort trying to kill off Sanders and the whole campaign of Bernie Sanders, because they said they didn't think a self-described socialist was electable. Moderates like Joe Biden, said he was too extreme for the American people. But it turns out the party establishment, as we see this coronavirus aid package and all the details of it surface, they're more comfortable with socialism than they're letting on. Just look at what they're trying to cram down our throats under the guise of responding to the viral outbreak. Pelosi's coronavirus bill is full of socialist goodies, like ending work requirements for food stamps for everyone, mandating employers provide paid leave benefits even beyond national crises, taxpayers footing the bill for coronavirus tests for the uninsured, and in some deliberations for the rest of the world. It's so bad that Republicans are refusing to vote for it tonight.
Here's one glaring problem. Under Pelosi's bill, the Social Security Administration would be set up to administer the paid sick leave program. Now, this will take more than 6 months, so it won't work in time. It also will hamper the administration from putting out Social Security for those who need it right now that are in harm's way. This will hurt the very population that we're supposed to be helping.
Well, the Democrats delayed the vote on the aid package as they continue to negotiate with the White House. Pelosi this morning sounded very optimistic about working with Steve Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary, saying that he had reasonable points to be made, but that kind of seemed to all come to a halt at some point during the day. But much of what the Democrats are pushing doesn't deal with the crisis at hand and only seems to, in some cases, set a floor for future government control and spending. And in the end, this will be dealt with. At some point, this will be a memory. Thank goodness. We hope it's sooner rather than later. But in the end, the average person is always asked to cough up more money. In return, they get less freedom. It's socialism by crisis, and there's no hiding it. Nice try.